Once again, welcome YouTube to the Tech Conglomerate channel. And today I'm very excited to share with you a wonderful find that I found at Nordstrom's rack on a great deal. This watch retails for about $375. It turns out to be a watch brand that I'd not heard about before. I found out since picking this watch up that it's really more of a fashion brand, but I have to say this watch is a diver watch and a legitimate diver watch. This watch is the Nixon Descender with a rotating bezel, screw-down crown, and it is rated at, get this, let's see if I can get the zoom in on here. It is rated at 300 meters as a dive watch. There are all sorts of videos online that talk about how this watch performs underwater, and it is a legitimate dive fashion watch. Again, the bezel itself is a rotating bezel, and it's very easy to rotate. There's no give whatsoever in the opposite direction, so it's very tight, really well done. The thing that I loved about this watch, and the reason why I picked it up, is because, see those numbers there? Those are raised numbers, and the numbers have lume. It is fascinating, very exciting. The dial itself is a black dial, and you can see that the numbers themselves have a slight lume to them, but the hands also are loomed. What's exciting for me is that the lume is really legitimate. It rivals many of the Seiko brand watches that are known for their lume. The other thing that's interesting about this watch is that instead of the dial being on the right-hand side, the dial is actually on the left-hand side, and so it takes a little bit of effort and thought. If you're right-handed and you're wearing it on your left hand, it actually works out pretty well in terms of a safety kind of thing, because you'd have to do counter everything that you're used to, and so it really forces you to think if you were in a situation where you wanted to go back to adjusting the time underwater or things of that nature. As a scuba diver myself, this watch is very impressive. I know many of the YouTubers talk about never going with a fashion watch, but I have to tell you, the Nixon Under Pressure, the Descender, is a phenomenal watch at 300 meters rated, stainless steel, Swiss movement. Where else can you find this? So I picked this up at around $150 at Nordstrom's rack. They had a number of them in their showcase, and it's really quite a value, as I mentioned before. It's something that is very rare to find, and I had, like I said, I had no idea that this was a watch that would be available, and a functional tool watch that can be used as a dive watch. What I'd like to do now is give you some sense of the measurement of this watch. It's a little on the larger side, so when you look at this, you have a lug-to-lug width. Let's see if I can get this right here. Lug-to-lug width of 52.2. It wears a lot smaller, though, because of the curvature. You can see that curvature there on the side. It's just really well done. Stainless steel, and the band itself is a really nice rubber band, really thick rubber band, in fact, that looks really good. And then the lug width turns out to be roughly 23 millimeters. Very nice size. And then when we look at the actual depth of the watch, we are looking at let me make sure I get this right. This is a 13.4. So it's on the larger end, but again, a beautiful watch, beautiful find. You're not going to find anything of this value that is functional. And the watch itself has the actual date. It does not have the day, it just has the date. But I will tell you, the date is actually underneath this Let me see if I can unscrew this right now and show you how tiny this date is. This is actually one of the drawbacks of the watch. It is barely legible, folks. It is barely legible, folks. And that's one of the knocks on this watch. Although it has all of those great features, somehow they really skimped on the fact that you need to read a date. You know, if you wanted to use the watch functionally to keep track of the date, you're unable to do so without really squinting and taking a look at it. Once again, screw-down crown, a beautiful second hand that has a nice circle on its tip, and on the back, beautiful second hand that has a circle on the tip, and on the back here you see you have this wonderful brand of Nixon on the opposite end of that circle on the second hand. The other thing that's interesting is that you actually have the Nixon logo on the crown as well. And so they did a really nice job of capturing all of the details of a high quality diver watch. And somehow they were able to make it affordable. Again, retails at $395. In fact, this was picked up for about $150. So if you go to Nordstrom's rack right now, you probably can pick up a few of these at a great bargain. Sell them on eBay or what have you. But this is really quite a catch. Very thrilled about it. This is how it looks on my wrist. Again, it is a sizable watch. When we look at the watch width, let's take a look at the width that we have here. Again, you have this casing that matches the crown, and so it's going to be a little bit bigger than usual. So it's really at a 45.3. If you go all the way there, it'll go all the way to 48.7. But again, wears a lot smaller, and I have 7-inch wrists, but it's about 45. And I will tell you that I am really attached to this watch. And when we talk about the lume associated with the watch, let's take a look and see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and shut all the lights off. Here we go. Okay, let's take a look at this lume here.